Hey, how's it going, P-Pixel pals? This is Panic Pixel, home of my gaming geek and tech ramblings. You can call me Christine. I am back again with another SADES headset review. This time we are reviewing the SADES Hammer. I keep saying SADES and SADES, I'm not really sure what's right, but yeah. So the SADES Hammer was sent to me by Gemini Doctor with the claim that this could possibly be one of their best sellers, priced at just under $40 and boasting the usual pretty lights as well as the usual virtual 7.1 surround sound that SADES headsets usually have. Let's see how the SADES Hammer holds up. First, let's look at the outside before we get to the SADES Hammer's sound. Now, in terms of design, this thing did not wow me as much as the Spellond and the Night Plus did because I just like more geometric and edgy kind of shapes rather than a kind of more round design. But regardless, I still think the SADES Hammer is still pretty cool. Compared to the two headsets that I mentioned, which I have reviewed by the way, this boasts more of a round design, which reminds me of the very first SADES headset that I bought, which was the SA903. Except the SA903 was a bit bulkier in terms of its design. I think the plastic was kind of wider on both sides of the headset as well as like the top. The SADES Hammer features more of a lighter plastic as well as a thinner design, which I actually really appreciate. It's less bulky than a lot of the headsets from them that I've tried before. Putting the hammer on my head, it doesn't feel like my head is all that bloated, which is something that I normally feel with a lot of the SADES headsets, and also it's not that heavy. On the left and right of the ear cups, you'll find a glowing SADES logo. This light syncs up to the light on the microphone, this G over here on the microphone. These two lights sync up along with the lights on the remote. Controls for this are pretty basic. You just have a kind of light button here on the remote. Press it once, it will go into a breathing effect. You press it another time, then it will turn off. Press it again, you can turn it on. I'm personally chill with the amount of customization on this headset in terms of the lighting because I am more concerned about the sound more so than the looks. That's okay for me. Now, in terms of the padding on this thing, the padding is still as soft as ever, but now it has this kind of firmness to it. This firmness is something that I didn't really find in the Night Plus. It felt kind of soft on the sides, and with the heaviness of the Night Plus, it was kind of hard to like keep it on my head. While this thing is pretty flexible, it did clasp onto my head pretty nicely, not too tight and not too loose, so I didn't get any headaches while I was playing Overwatch for hours and hours on end. But one thing to note though is that the plastic seems to be easily scratched. I actually dropped this just before I started recording, and now there's like an ugly kind of scratch on one side or something like that. Now, a quick microphone test before I start talking about the sound. This is a microphone test of the SADES Hammer. Hello, hello. Come get your armor. This is a microphone test of the SADES Hammer. Hello, hello. Come get your armor. Now, putting this on my head and putting the microphone down, you can see that it seems like the microphone is pretty far away from my head. This is practically the closest I can put it to my mouth. I was actually pretty worried that it wouldn't pick up my voice and that I'd have to speak pretty loudly in order for it to get what I'm saying, but I was actually pleasantly surprised that the volume levels on this thing was pretty good. So at 100% volume with the AGC setting on, I was able to communicate pretty well with my teammates on Overwatch. I did this through the in-game chat as well as on Discord, and people did not have any trouble hearing my callouts and anything that I had to say. Talking about the microphone quality of the SADES Hammer, as you heard in the microphone test that I just played, there's a lot of detail in my voice considering that this thing is $40. Compared to SADES Spellond as well as the Night Plus, it doesn't sound as boxy. There's a lot more detail in the voice. There's mids and highs there that were not present in the microphones of the headsets that I mentioned. Obviously, there are other headsets out there with better microphone quality. On the top of my head, the Plantronics Gamecom series has some pretty good microphones even with like some of their older products, which are like super cheap now. So if you're looking for something more on the microphone side of things, there are better options out there. But again, SADES is not just about the microphone, it's about everything as a whole. For YouTube commentary with the right processing, I think this does pretty well for the price if you're looking for other features as well. As for the sound that comes out of these cans itself, I was actually pretty impressed. The bass is strong, but it doesn't drown out some of the details in the music. I find that with some of these cheaper-ish headphones, they tend to make the bass really loud to make it seem like stuff is alright. You can't really hear anything else that's going on in the mix. And that's a shame with especially games like Overwatch where you have music playing, you have action going on. It's nice to hear all those details. So in terms of the overall listening experience, I'd say that it's very comparable to the SADES Beyond. Much better than my experience with the Night Plus, because just comfort and like just the way the Night Plus clasped onto my head, it wasn't really that great. The 7.1 virtual surround sound still works as great as ever. Great job to SADES for maintaining the quality of the virtual surround sound. But I do have to note that I had some issues with the software itself. Not sure if it's because I've installed and uninstalled SADES software so many times at this point, but basically, after I installed the software, I could not open the interface at all. Every time I clicked to open the SADES software, it just would give me an error message. Thankfully, the driver controls are available within the sound settings of Windows, but my concern is just that if this issue is coming up, especially for newbies, they would not know about this. I figure some people are just going to be like, this doesn't work, I'll get a refund. That's definitely one thing that SADES has to fix. Overall, I think the SADES hammer manages to maintain SADES' reputation of creating affordable yet very feature-balanced products. At just around $40, if you're looking for a good listening experience as well as a decent microphone and very good comfort for playing hours on end, then I think this is a pretty good choice. You just have to take into account the fact that the plastic kind of scratches easily, as well as the fact that the software is kind of there. Now, if you're interested in buying the SADES hammer for yourself, links for it are in the description below. Be sure to use my affiliate links because that does help me get monies to do more stuffs for the channel. Any help is greatly appreciated because, you know, this light would not even be here if it weren't for my Amazon earnings. While you're at it, be sure to leave a comment down below whether you are actually interested in buying this product, or if you aren't, why not? And maybe let's talk about your headset. What headset are you currently using right now? As always, I hope you found this video useful and informative. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.